I have no idea, Michelle. I don't know what it sounds like. Did you guys ever hear of Stud's Place? Stud's Place was a TV show in the late 50s. They were just experimenting with TV. They didn't know what it could do. And there was a Chicago school of television at the time. And it was innovative, and they just made stuff up as they went along. Stud's Place told the story of Studs Terkel, who ran a bar, and his buddies would show up at the bar, and they would loosely have a storyline. It was pretty much based on old-time radio programs. So I decided I was going to play around a little bit with this new media and see how it turns out. So I got myself some wine, and I'm gonna do some stuff here, and this is really aggravating because it's too bright. Let's see if we do. This is a learning process for me. I have no idea what I'm doing. This is Puddin'head Manor, by the way. This is my life-size portrait of John Dixon, who inspires me a lot to do poetry. And this is my little Tweety bird up there. Up in the corner you can see a t-shirt that was used to promote Lawrence Tyler's first book back in 1990. Puddin'head's first book was Ford Star Daydream. There was me and 3 other poets in it. The second book that Puddin'head came out with was Prophecies by Lawrence Tyler. So can people hear me right now? I'm just wondering if this thing is working or not. I know we're kind of all cooped up right now, so I wanted to do something. I wanted to try to spread my wings a little bit, and hopefully other people will spread their wings a little bit. There still is a poetry scene out there. There always has been. There's a group of people that I absolutely love, especially up on the North Shore, and I affectionately call them scribblers, because all they do is take their poems and publish them in these little magazines all over the country. So maybe we've all become scribblers. Who knows? But things like this, and I've been very impressed by Eric Ellen Yankee's show. I've been very impressed by Rich Experience, especially impressed by Rich Experience's show. I really would like, okay, Janet says she can hear you. Janet, hi Janet. This is strange because there's a delay in the video from what I say. It shows up on the video and I actually see myself do something like 30 seconds after I do it. It's like one of those aggravating phone calls where you have this thing. See, right now I just waved at Janet. So anyways, I'm glad you guys could hear me, and I'm planning on having some fun with this thing. And if it really works out, I think I'm going to do it every Monday. I think Monday would be a cool time to do it and a fun time to do it. And we're going to talk about the history of Chicago poetry. We're going to talk about books. And we're going to talk about all kind of stuff. Unless this totally falls flat today, I think I'm going to be doing it more often. So we're going to be doing all kind of neat stuff. And let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Let's get it, unsuspecting poets. Grab your wine, relax, sit back. Laney, how are you? This is Leonard, everybody. I'm going to put you on speakerphone. I got you on Facebook Live. And and let's see if the speakerphone thing works. People say they could hear me, but they don't know if they could. Don't know if they could hear the phone thing. So let's put you on speakerphone, and hopefully people could hear you. Leonard, say something.
Bonsoir, can you hear me?
Can anybody hear Leonard? We won't know for like 30 seconds or something, Leonard. Everything okay with you tonight?
Yes.
Okay, this seems to be going pretty good so far. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can do this here. We're going to try to get your pretty face up here. Yes, we got your pretty face up here. Glass of wine to you too, Leonard.
Yeah.
What?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, you're on the video screen too. I got your pretty face over here. You're holding up a glass of wine for everybody. So anything new and exciting with you? Have you been submitting any poetry anywhere or anything like that?
No, I was just trying to decide what to read tonight.
Okay. Have you decided?
Yes, but I pull about Bloomsday because we're all involved, some of us are involved in the Bloomsday affair.
We're going to be doing, it looks like we're going to be doing a virtual Bloomsday this year. We're going to take some old footage from past years and string it together, and Jeff is going to do new bridges in between it. So it looks like that's what we're going to be doing on Bloomsday. And Bloomsday is on June 16th. That's why it's circled on the calendar. I just filmed an introduction today, so we'll see how that works out. And the Poetry Bomb is coming up and some other stuff. So we got Poetry Alive in Chicago. And you're a live poet in Chicago. So Leonard, give us a poem.
Bloomsday. On the eve of Bloomsday, unconstructed conversation referred to the deconstructionist doctoral candidate at the Rocks. She insisted that only the parts of Ulysses in English had importance to her, the reader, the monolingual reader. She tilted at the multilingual Joyce, who wrote in convolutions of English and other tongues, with many thoughts within them and without them. The candidate had expiated, had said that Joyce's words were irrelevant to her, incomprehensible in fact. She would deconstruct the English from between the sirens, from the weaving of Penelope, from every illusion for the Yiddish or Greek, Latin or French. Popular references of the day could not exist. The references to Love's Old Sweet Song lead from crescendo to crescendo in Molly Bloom's soliloquy. Anticipating Corpus Christi and ignoring the deconstructionist, we remember Buck Mulligan in his morning ablutions chanting, Interior ad altare Dei, I go to the altar of God.
Yeah!
Did
So,
you hear me?
yeah, I heard you. I hope the people online heard you. We won't know. Hi, Carolyn. How are you? I hope you could hear us okay. Carolyn Johnson just joined us. So you did the poetry at the Hungry Brain. You hosted the poetry at the Hungry Brain for probably 2 years or something like that.
4 years.
4 years you did the Hungry Brain? I mean, it was
Yes.
it was a great venue, and it was actually the same name of the bar as in the movie Visit to the Small Planet. Who did that? Jerry Lewis's movie Visit to a Small Planet. The bar in there, the beatnik bar, was called the Hungry Brain. You also did some other venues. What other venues did you do?
One other, it was a place in Division Street, very briefly.
Roby's.
Yes.
Okay, Roby's was fun. We used to sit around a lot of times and do Roby's. I remember me and Gabriella spent the whole reading one time singing Harry Chapin songs. So it was a kind of fun time. Anyways, I'm disappointed in the way this video behind me turns out. I don't know if you can see this, Leonard, and talk on the phone at the same time.
I can't see it if I'm on the phone.
Okay. Okay, well, this seems to be working pretty good. And we'll see how it turns out in the end. And thanks for being on the first Puddin'head Press Hour.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, well, I got one question for you.
What?
Since we're cooped up, I have this
What?
thing here. Since we're cooped up, I have a bottle of yellowtail wine. And it's the Merlot. As a man of distinction and a man of taste, what type of wine would you recommend people drink at home during these times in Chicago?
Well, basically what they like, well, I like Chianti. Chianti and Malbec here right now.
Okay, so you recommend a good Malbec for me.
Or Chianti.
Okay.
And many others. I like a lot of things, actually.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on the show, and let's do this again sometime soon.
Very well, yes.
Talk to you later. Bye. So I hope you guys could hear Leonard. I hope you guys could hear the poem. Who knows? It might actually work out this way. No, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just went and threw all this stuff together from spare parts that I had sitting around my house. And if I turn this a little bit, will this make this better? Okay, let's see. Maybe that'll make it better. And maybe I should go into night mode like John had said. I should have asked you guys to see if there's any questions you had from Leonard. And we'll do that with our next guest. I was trying to figure out who might be available this late. So who's not in our time zone? So we're going to jump a poet in another time zone who's far, far away. And he's the surprise poet guest of the day. And he's an ex-Chicagoan, and he's an ex-West Suburban guy. So let's see if he's home. Jared Smith, how are you? Okay, you're on the Puddin'head Press our Facebook thing that I'm trying to do. And nothing's broken yet, and I haven't blown a fuse. But I'm going to put you on the speaker so you can talk to everybody. Okay. Hi. I think people could hear you. I'm not sure. Anyways, so I heard you got a weather problem out there right now.
Well, yeah, we have with the flowers in full bloom today. We had 18 inches of snow. Covered up the daffodils and primrose and hyacinths. It doesn't look very good this time of year.
Okay, I mean, I don't think everybody knows actually where you're living, and I haven't told them.
Okay, well, I live in where do I live?
Lafayette.
I live right outside of Boulder, Colorado, in the town of Lafayette, which is right below the foothills of the Rocky Mountains.
Okay, I was out there. God, I think it's been 6 years or something since I was out there.
Yeah, you were out here, I guess, I've been here 12 years. I guess it was probably about 6 years.
Okay.
And, yeah, we went up and looked through some old gold mines together and tested pieces of metal we found on the ground with your chemicals to see if they were gold or not. And we didn't do very well with that, but it was a good time.
Well, there is gold in them there hills.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we did.
I have 3 abandoned gold mines on my property, but never found any more than just a little bit of dust here and there.
I remember the one mine goes back like 80 feet or something.
Right, that's the one that was never patented. It was never commercial. There were 3 commercial ones, but the mine that goes back 80 feet or so was dug by a guy who put himself through the University of Colorado from mining gold there, and then went on to write the Capitalist Manifesto, which was a response. It was a book. It was a response to Marx, and he became a world famous economist, Louis Kelso.
You know what I thought was really neat about your neighborhood there is the shopping mall with all the streets named after Ayn Rand characters.
Yeah, that's not near the cabin. That's down where I live in Lafayette.
On the valley. I mean, I remember Taggart Way and stuff like that.
Right.
It was really, really cool.
Yep. Well, it's a land of contrasts.
Okay, can I tell a bad Jared Smith story?
Oh, there aren't any good ones, so you might as well.
We went up to that mine, and it's 80 feet deep, and it goes in, and then it cuts over to the right a little bit, I think. And we brought one flashlight. we hiked up the side of the mountain, and we brought one flashlight, and we go in there, and we did find a little chip of gold on the ceiling in a piece of quartz. And we both wanted it. So we kind of had to figure out and almost flip about who was going to stay outside and who was going to be clipping away at the thing. So
that's it, because also you don't want to. These mines are very old, and you don't want to have them cave in on you. And if they do, you'd rather somebody would be outside to laugh at you and report your fatality or something, you know.
Yep. If it would have caved in on you, I would have kind of ran the 3 miles back to the car and drove the 5 miles down the road until I got a phone signal and then called for help.
Right,
so,
that's about what you can do.
Yep. And I still have some samples from that I'm gonna one day figure out how to process.
That would be cool.
Anyways.
Yeah, we still have that. We have that on the property. That's I think that's the Morning Star. I'm not sure. We've got 3 of them, and I can't always remember which one is which because they're not. We never visit them. It's we keep the property as kind of a nature preserve.
I remember we saw a moose there too.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, you got a poem for us?
Well, I just wrote one.
Will you read it for us?
It seems good for today. It's called There is a Song in All Poetry, and I just finished it this morning. There is a song in my poetry, every line, every stanza, every poem. Each poem an open aria into another, and they change one to the next, and 1 year to the next they change. One book becomes another, and each book becomes another psalm, the song of workers and looms, and chains and sweat and heartbreak. But there is always the song. There is always the love, the sweet whisper of sun on mountain meadows, the deer pausing to drink at the stream, and the stream with its magenta flowers finding its way among dark stones that hold the night tight in their sides. And it is always so in each poem we write. There is a song that sings of us and of our homes and lives. There is a song that keeps us going, a song that has filled our literature and have raised our institutions with, and that we sing to our children each night. It changes through the years, but it's there. I have without our feet at this time and in this dark place, but I will do so. Already I can hear the murmurs of others learning how.
I like the images of people in your poetry, how you bring like a sensitivity of logic and emotion together in your poetry, and like I told you, I was reading the other day, The Graves Grow Bigger Between Generations, and
Oh, yeah.
that's just such a good poem.
Thank you.
I posted it on that Chicago poetry book review thing on Facebook, and I made some nice comments about it.
Oh, I hadn't seen that.
Is that a true story?
Tell me, where do I go to see that?
I just search on Facebook for Chicago Poetry Book Review.
Okay.
And
okay, I'll do that.
and it's Chicago Poetry Book Review, and there's also a thing called History of Chicago Poetry on there. You might be interested. It's another Facebook page. I don't do anything except run Facebook pages, and all the other ones.
I'm glad about how you're still doing so much to keep poetry going in Chicago, Dave. And
Well,
you always were at the center of it when I was there 12 years ago.
well, we got to keep on doing stuff. And
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
got to look out for our fellow poets too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of poets that are kind of shut-ins right now.
Well, we're pretty well shut in here. I get out to walk in the country for about 3 miles a day, but by myself and wearing a mask, and have the groceries delivered because it's just not that safe out here.
Yep. Okay. Anyways, let me talk to you in a couple days.
Sounds good.
Okay. Bye.
Take care.
Are we back online? Nope.